There we go. We're up.
Good to go?
Yeah, I can see us now.
Okay.
There we go.
We are live. All right. Well, we are Scythe Dev Team. Welcome, everybody. I'm Blake. Good to see everybody. We got up here in the top right, we got John. Say hello, John.
How's everyone doing? You may recognize me as Maverick Cooper, the radio DJ, and Blake, well, he was Vic himself, though, if you got that far. I won't spoil anything. And then Kaleb here, he played the boss.
Hey, kid.
Hey, that's a good impression. We should hire you.
All right.
So, if you haven't heard about Happy's Humble Burger Farm, you got questions, you're still curious about it, we're going to answer as much of anything you throw at us as we can here. If you have any questions about the story, the gameplay, the choices that were made, anything at all, light up our chat. We're here to help. We want to sort of showcase the game in its final state and just spend some time with y'all. If you have picked up the game, we appreciate your patronage, and we really hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't yet, you should definitely go buy it. So, without further ado, let's get this show on the road.
Let's do it. I've been excited to play this game. I've heard a lot of good things about it.
Yeah, I should have turned subtitles on. I'll turn them on once I get into the game.
Typical, start to every fast food day is just getting surgery done. That's what you do when you wake up, getting ready to clock in. Very typical. We all did work fast food. Each one of us has worked at restaurants.
We have, at one point.
And Happy's is our favorite.
Oh, by far.
All right. So, how to cook a burger. For those who don't know how to cook a burger, you grab a bottom one first, and you place it on the assembly board. This is the assembly board. I just sort of want to check out this kind of dream-esque sequence for a second here.
So, first question. How are you guys liking the speedrun community so far for your game?
You guys are great. It's fun to watch people beat the game fast, but don't ask us to patch stuff. It's not a speed run if we're doing your job for you. You got to find it out yourself. But we're happy you put it up on the official website, and we like seeing the world record broken again and again. So keep at it.
Absolutely.
I got to PD in 10 minutes the other day. Yeah, riddled me that one, speedrunners.
Justice for Toe, absolutely. Absolutely.
We love Toe.
Wish there was more we could do for him, but can't save everybody, right? All right. Well, traditionally, any fast food restaurant, you throw the item in the bag, close the bag up, and you step back a couple hundred yards, and you run and you chuck it at them.
Are you guys excited for any possible fan songs in the future?
Have at it. Like, you have a lot of stuff to cover.
Happy just scared the crap out of me.
Yes, Morbid Mist, you can press Q to rotate items. No chances right now for a physical release. Just no need, really.
Unfortunately, with the way the world is right now, physical releases are kind of going out of style. They cost a lot to make, and you got the overhead, you got the people who create it. It's not as profitable as some would think Albeit, our dream is to walk into a GameStop or a Walmart one day and see our game on the shelf. It's just, even a AAA, development team, it's not worth it.
Yeah. Hold on, let's see.
There are shirts though with the fancy logo. You can clock.
We will not be adding Burger Barn to Endless Mode, but we will be releasing Burger Barn on Steam very soon, for free, so y'all can play Burger Barn again. Happy Stumble is not set in the Hello Neighbor universe. It's set in its own universe called the Scythe Saga universe. As far as the sequel, we have a lot of ideas. Time will tell. We don't want to spill too much yet, I guess.
I mean, if you guys keep talking about a sequel, we might just have to do it. Twist our wrists.
Tweet at Tiny Build. They love when you tag them.
Yes. One of those, if this video gets 10 million likes, we'll make a sequel.
Okay. That's a lot of likes, Blake.
It's gotta go past Gangnam Style numbers.
Okay, 10 likes.
Blake, you should play the game like a developer.
I'll run through a shift like we're testing it. But for now, we're just chilling. You're always safe at home.
I have the closed captions on, and it's not getting what we're saying right at all. I'm going to turn those off. It's very distracting.
I just imagine some poor old lady stenographer in the back office of YouTube sitting there trying to stenograph our words.
I think she said Harpy, Hamble, Bunger, Bonger. Yeah, that's it. John, are there any... Oh, I lost the question. Are there any dumb little character things you guys think of for certain characters? Pig Chungus is one of them for PD, I know that.
Toe almost had a brother named Armpit.
What was the hardest part of the game to make?
We should,
Could all answer that differently.
That's what I was going to say, Caleb, what was your hardest part of the game?
Probably the restaurant stuff. Getting the customers to queue up properly and not walk over each other and all that crazy stuff. It took a little bit, for sure.
How about you, John?
It's almost always casting and writing the talk radio.
Yeah, the amount of writing you had to do for this game. Everything written, the voices, all that stuff was John. It all had to make sense. It all had to stay together and be sequential with each other. So I couldn't write that much. I can barely talk properly enough, let alone write that much stuff.
Yeah.
Me, it would probably honestly have to be the city.
Even more than the diner?
Yeah, the diner for me, it's easy because you can focus on one thing and you just do that one thing right and look up reference pictures, but anything you're doing without any sketches, reference pictures, even a decade to go off of, this is all, there's no reference pictures to any of this. This was all, out of my head, as far as design wise, so having to do this and trying to fill this much space is very difficult. So I struggled a lot with the city here, but every other level is so confined and there's only so much to do with each level that it's not as big as a full-fledged city. And a lot of people tell you that any open world game, any cities, they're always the hardest to fill.
Yes, this is very true.
I saw the cemetery question, and that gets asked a lot. That's our Banjo-Kazooie ice key. It's just something that we had half developed, and then it was bugged in one aspect, so we nixed it. Really, we should have threw a tape down there and like a few pages and a burger token, but it fell through the cracks. So now it's just like a furnace you find, probably where they're burning the bodies.
Who knows, though? One day, one random update, something might appear there. You never know.
Maybe even a cannoli.
Maybe even a cannoli.
The farmer was creepy from day one because in the lore of the game, like the farmer was the villain in their cartoon, so he was like that in some of the eras of the Barnyard Buds. Like the 3D models in the restaurant are probably based on like when they became platformers in this universe, because this is all set in Scythe. If you didn't know, I'm sure most of you do. This isn't Earth. It's just all our own stuff.
John, how did you get John St. John to voice Sammy?
That was Lonnie Manella and Sarah Sakura both helped me with casting. I had already gotten like 20 or 30 people, but when I brought them in on the end, they both got me numerous people, and one of them that's Mark Biaggi. Charlie the Chillin' Chicken is Eric Newsome. Obviously, John St. John is Duke Nukem Fish. Lonnie plays Happy, and Tim Simmons plays the farmer. He's the evil farmer.
Let's see.
There is a Flowers for Toe 2 and 3. If you get the patch on PC, there's actually 3 tapes in Toe's room. Spoiler alert.
It might be available for console too now.
Yeah, we're still we're going to be getting a patch list for console, and we'll know what made it through. It takes a while for councils to verify, so we're just not sure.
Morbid Miss says, the manager dude sounds like such a jerk. I like him though. Hey kid, I don't sound like a jerk, do I?
He is though. Don't let him fool you. He fooled us. No. It's
like, show him. I'm delayed on your stream, but for all the people watching, do you remember where the secret coffee is?
Yeah.
Show him how to get the secret coffee.
The fisherman, there was no plans for him other than being a war edition. There was also Richie the Hound, named after my dog Richie. I actually had 2 voice actors that were in the running for playing him, but by the time I had it all planned out and all the quotes ready, there just wasn't time to add that character.
Why did we remove the alpha from Steam?
I think people were getting driven there instead of the main game, right?
Yeah, there's we had an overwhelming amount of people wish listing, the free alpha, and not as many downloads, quite frankly, as there was wish lists with the game. And it was just something where, it wasn't and the final decider was it wasn't a good representation of the game is now. So we didn't want to necessarily mislead anybody. In a sense, it was all prototype from the second we announced that we were doing Happy's Humble Burger Farm to the alpha was less than 3 months. So that was sort of our debug to get these mechanics working, and just test everything to see what was fun and what wasn't. And we also listened to the community, and we heard what they had to say about what they liked at the alpha and what they didn't like at the alpha, and we took everything into consideration, went more in depth on some areas, and took out some other things. So
it is canonical though, so if you do still have it, like, you have a secret little chunk of the universe.
And if you don't, you can watch someone play it on YouTube.
Yeah, there's plenty of playthroughs of it, but that's I can say, if you've spoilers, mute me real quick if not. That's a different E number. E14 is who E17 is who it is. E14 is one of the tape people.
Tokens.
Yeah. Main inspiration for the game.
That'd be
That was a
different for
hard
all of
one.
us.
Yeah, that one's a hard one to answer. I can say that the idea started because we thought it would be funny to make a way to give food to people at a drive-thru. That was it. Just make a.
And that was off of a car combat game. It was off of a 007 meets Twisted Metal, and you're like, let me make a car combat game, a drive-thru off of this. I always found that funny.
It got weird for a minute.
Salmon nuggets of steel? No, but he does say a few things that I based off of Duke Nukem quotes, and of course Duke Nukem quotes are all quotes from like Evil Dead and They Live, so it's like a third generation quote, which I like. You know, he's doing a parody of a parody, but it's by the real guy. It's very meta. Some strange stuff.
Yeah.
Toe is number. Oh wait, I don't know. We might reveal that later, so I can't say. He has a number though. He has a very significant place.
You know what I say we do real quick? I say we give away a couple copies of the game if people can answer some trivia about the game.
That's a good idea.
That's a good one.
What is some good trivia?
I got you on that. Let me test your lore knowledge. Where's our lore babies? Cannoli.
So the rules are
every copy.
Yeah, the rules are in chat. Whoever answers it correctly first, we'll mark you down, and then message us after the stream, and we'll give you a key.
Either on Discord or Twitter. I'll post some links right now for you.
Yeah, John, you're the question man.
What is the name of the person who is responsible for all of this?
Okay.
Caleb, Blake, and John.
False.
Cannoli. The reason I voiced Maverick is because I lost contact with that guy. That was a real accent. That guy was from Ireland. That was his real talking voice.
I got the next trivia question, by the way.
You can email us as well, Salazar, if you win. You know. Oh, okay. Green August one with Zane Grimm, Dr. Zane Grimm.
Yeah.
Very nice. People paying attention.
Let
me
Good stuff. I'll write it down, John. Got
okay. Let me see what else.
Hold on. We got to space it out. We got to make them really think, you know.
I got one, but it's not for a key. You guys ready for this? Who is this?
Yeah, just stare at it for a minute.
Who is this?
Just let it connect.
Hitman. Clearly Hitman.
Agent 47.
Who is the best employee of Happy's Humble Burger Farm?
Fun fact, that picture used to, if you had a webcam plugged in, it would take a picture of you and put it there, but we found that people didn't like seeing their shirtless selves there.
Yeah,
we're not a letter organization. We're just game developers. Michael Jackson? What? He doesn't look like Michael Jackson. You guys are crazy.
I'm not that good
Absolutely
looking, okay?
toe. Absolutely toe.
The real toe, IRL.
The real toe is an Australian friend of mine. In fact, fun fact, you can hear Toe on the radio doing ads. So there's some more Toe lore for you if you go search.
Toe really should be employee of the month, though, let's be real.
He really should.
Yeah, he doesn't cook a single patty.
Let's update that. This is Vanna.
Toe is love and toe is life.
Don't know if anyone's noticed, but Vanna's wearing a John of the Shred t-shirt.
In some Twitch stream, someone's like, "You're not a dev." I'm like, "Look at that lady's shirt," and they're like, "Oh."
No, we just really like his music.
We didn't take the CJU Easter egg out of Burger Barn. It just was incompatible with the new interaction system that we had built.
Yeah, I should have hit him up. He has a fantastic voice. He would have done a great Easter egg on the radio.
Yeah.
I might have actually messaged him. Some of the messages fell through, or didn't get seen, which is obvious. You know, everyone's busy. But, you know, like, if we do a sequel, I actually will hit him up to do one, because he played, like, our early games, and he had great feedback for us. Always great LPs. A lot of the streamers we work with have been around for years, since Northbury Grove. So, like, we wanted to get them in, because they've helped us. They've always been cool. They've always been friends with us.
Oh, yeah.
The game doesn't take place in Halloween. Every couple days that you go to sleep, the seasons will change. So you'll notice snow. Sometimes it'll be rainy because it's spring, etc., etc.
Yeah, and you'll notice there's a lot of holes in the restaurant too. It's a faulty roof.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll need some buckets to soak up that water.
Or is that a clue?
That would make it less scary. It's like, hail to the fish, baby, and it's like coming after you. That would be hilarious.
That's what I should have got. Just an image of the blue paw print and put it over in important stuff. It's a clue. It's a clue. One of my favorite shows as a kid, by the way.
Yeah, that was a classic.
So just like anybody on after their first paycheck, you know, they make a lot of money, do good at work, get their first paycheck. What does any logical person do? They buy a flat screen.
That was your first purchase?
Yep. I have $2 to my name. I have a candy bar in the fridge, but at least I have a flat screen.
Are there any secrets? Oh, go ahead.
That's what I was going to say. Are there?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The randomization doesn't account for replays, so there's probably some broadcasts on the TV and the radio that haven't been found yet. There's just so much there. I plan on uploading it to, YouTube at some point. And also, there's really deep underlying lore that no one has come close to discovering yet. It's like right there, but it's so not obvious. I don't expect anyone to get it until we release more games for context. But when this is unveiled, you're all going to be like, oh crap, like that's crazy how much everything is tied into a certain thing.
What's your guys' favorite Barnyard Bud?
Mine's always been Sammy. Sammy reminds me of the chick in Recess. Spinelli.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
What's yours, John?
Recess. How about this? Recess versus Hey Arnold.
Oh, Recess.
That's a good battle, though.
That is a good battle, but I don't know. Recess always had me.
Recess is cool because it's like factions. It's kind of like Game of Thrones. My favorite Bud. It's tough. I'd probably go with Charlie because he plays guitar. I just kind of based his lore around myself if I was a goofy cartoon character. And a little bit of Rockadoo, an underrated classic. Rockadoo.
Petey's my favorite. I like that Pig Chungus.
Pig Chungus is awesome too, yeah. I like all the voice actors. Like, if we got the opportunity to make like a cartoon with that cast, it would be so fun to write the dialogue that they were like shooting back at each other. They all have really distinctive personalities for just having 10 quotes. Like, those actors are also good that they were able to get so much out of so little that I gave them, which is cool.
Yeah. Blake, I want to see what you can do on this shift.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, show us how it's done.
Okay.
Oh, we've got Beard ASMR here, and Cody is also in the building.
Oh, what's up, guys? Well, first, my favorite John of the Shred album of all time.
My least favorite.
That's why it's first on the jukebox. See Now Showdown. A testament to my childhood. Okay.
Some of the music on this album is from like 2008.
All right, here we go. Oh, come on.
Put some gore on the jukebox.
I mean, this Fountain of Guts is pretty close.
Get some hymn on there as well.
Asset Joy is hard to beat on the PS4. Did you know that? Not if you don't take your eyes off her.
Here's a hint for Joy on the PS4 or any other console. You don't have to put toppings on the sandwich. Just put it between two buns. No bag. Just throw it at her. Just a bun, and a patty in between. Toeses.
I don't like how her name's Joy, but she's not joyful. I'll just go ahead and say that. She's not fun. What's up, Toe?
She's scary.
I mean, if you know Gwar, you can hit them up, and I will definitely do a collaboration with Gwar. Gwar are great. I love their interviews. They're always so hilarious when they talk to press. In full costume. Fan theory videos on the game, absolutely. I watched Taraco, Game Salt, Super Horror Bros, a few others, if I'm forgetting anyone. They all do really cool breakdowns.
I'm just watching Blake fly through this shift.
I've had to test a lot.
No cursing, no cursing. I mean, I guess it'd be funny if Sammy cursed, but it was nice to work within the limitations I've set myself. That I didn't want to curse. I just wanted to not have to.
I messed up.
Rely on that.
We always planned for Burger Farm to be a sequel of Burger Barn, for sure. You know, it's tough. I mean, we had different ideas for this game, for sure. But we ultimately landed on this one because we wanted to really explore a little bit more. Can I talk about spoilers on this?
Yeah.
Are we
I would just use a spoiler warning.
Spoiler warning.
Spoiler warning, you got 2 seconds. 1 second. All right.
You know, people are like, a lot of people had said, why did you reveal the simulation so early on in gameplay?
Oh, yeah.
That's not the focus. It's what's... I mean, most people going into this game kind of already know what's going on. You know, it's not... We're not explicitly trying to hide it. There's clues everywhere. On the restaurant order form, on the radio things. You could buy pills and hear the one lady talking to employees in the simulation. You know, we wanted to go a little bit more beyond, like, you know, why is there simulation? What's going on? But still not reveal everything.
Right.
But seriously, if you play the game long enough, you'll see that the twists that happen later in the story completely negate that first twist in the opening. Like, it's almost like in every horror movie, or most horror movies, they start with, like, the reveal of the antagonist. Like Michael Myers kills his sister in the very first scene of Halloween. It was the same thing as that. Like, you get a taste of happy, and then you wake up and then build the character until stuff really, you know, goes off the rails later.
Well, I mean, it's...
And no, we did not make Hello Neighbor, but they're fantastic devs as well.
Oh, yeah.
We just both work with Tiny Build, who are awesome publishers.
I wanted to touch on that note as well, like BioShock. You know, BioShock, the plane crashes in the first scene. I messed that up because I'm talking. Plane crashes in the first scene, and you're dropped in the ocean. Well, you know, you go into the building, and, you know, all of a sudden you forget about the fact that your plane just crashed and you're in the middle of nowhere. You just harbored safety inside of this random door that's sitting on a rock in the middle of the ocean with nothing else around. And you start to forget that kind of stuff. And then in the end, it's, you know, comes full circle, and then We try to inhibit a little bit of that as well. Give you a little bit, but not give you the whole sandwich, so to speak.
Right. The whole burger.
Yep.
Oh, Gizmo, your first thing was right. The game does look disgusting. Don't kid yourself. It's supposed to look grimy. It's supposed to be very unsettling and like Niga, Shantae T. I'm not going to read that whole thing because I'm going to mess it up. The Warhead is right. It's very Matrixy. Any kind of dystopian sci-fi, Blade Runner, or actually we have a voice actress from Blade Runner in the game.
Yeah.
Just to pay homage to all that sci-fi that inspires us and horror from the 80s.
The fabricated reality concept actually, it all kind of came exclusively with each other, right? So you have Obscura, and Obscura is named after a camera's Obscura, and the Lucidus initiative is based off of camera's Lucidus, where it projects a fake reality onto something. This is all real life phenomena you guys should look up. So it all kind of rolled into itself based off of real functions of like camera optical illusions, if that makes sense. And then of course, Matrix, Truman Show,
Yeah,
stuff like
Show,
that.
definitely. And weird real life stuff that governments do, but we won't get into that.
Yeah, it's a little too heavy for the stream.
Especially the Scythian government is the worst of them all.
Yeah, the world Scythian government. What's up with them?
Yeah, seriously.
You're a little bit late there, funny guy.
Yes, Toe is the Theodore
Oliver
Emerson.
Oliver Emerson. Yeah, so his initials give him his nickname.
I like Toe for short.
Thanks, Justerio. We appreciate it.
I have $161. I'm gonna go break into a building now.
Are you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, you're racing the AI glitcher out.
Currency system, we call them Scythian credits.
It's my favorite part.
How did that brick end up all the way over there? Jeez.
I love doing that. The galloping start,
Mm-hmm.
and it just smashes through everything. I'm probably a little late on noticing that, but
What do you think of people pretending to be characters from this game? I think it's awesome.
Oh yeah.
I pretend to be the boss.
Number one Halloween costume for 2022.
Will there be a game that goes into detail about the Scythian War?
the diner sequence, at one point I was saying we should do like a war, like you fight through the trenches to get to the burger place. So like we almost delved into that, but it was just like, nah, that's too much. Like actually Caleb had a grappling hook at one point and you could like fly through the Alpha City, but like you could easily break the game with that. It was just crazy.
Yeah, it was difficult.
I'll wait till the stream catches up here. I'm at the board in the radio station.
Yeah, it's all 2.5 hours plus of the radio content. It's all on that board. Also, the Viki announcements, which I think there's over 50 of those. Those really give you insight into how this corporation like treats all of its employees.
Rav says he pretends to be on the radio.
No, we got a lot of people in this. You'll see them all: Berlizzi, Dom, 8-Bit Ryan, Corey Kenshin, Rev7, Good Chaos, Boy Cast.
Vaughn and Joey B Tunes and Freeman Fly and
We Reprise Dylan.
all the Virtually Vain who did all those funny Call of Duty prank videos.
Yeah.
Ronaldo is Unsealed Wings.
Ronaldo's musicals.
Your boy Cast with the CNG supplements ad. My buddy Jason doing the Bump Cola again. He's always hilarious in that. John Michael Lowe doing Steel and Cell. He does music as Ectoplague. The host of the Eden Synth channel in Postal 4 has a full interview as the Obscura Biotech CEO, which is hilarious. I definitely suggest you hear that.
We're super happy with how the game came out. We're very proud of it. We put a lot of work into it. There's a lot of layers to discover, obviously. It's our baby, for sure. But Blake is the one that's playing right now, Dante.
Ryan is super cool. And as far as fan fiction goes, I actually suggest people to start building their own universe. Because, like, I started building this in, like, 2005. The whole universe, I mean. And, like, I never thought it'd turn into video games or, like, a record label with concept albums. But it did when I found the right team to, like, expand the idea. So I always suggest people write their own stories. And, yeah, take it from there.
Smell Games, there actually is a prequel. It's called Burger Barn. We'll be putting it on Steam.
Full disclosure, none of us have played FNAF, really. I've never played a single FNAF. I respect their legacy. I mean, they're legends, but I've never played a single FNAF game. Security Breach looks really cool.
I just picked up Security Breach just on sheer visuals. I mean, I think the game looks just gorgeous.
It looks gorgeous.
And I do the 3D modeling, and I respect all environmental design. They went with a total neon look that I just adore, and I just want to just walk around the joint and check it out.
Yeah, it's very, very pretty.
Oh, yeah.
But no, honestly, none of this... I mean, the only thing this game shares is... I mean, Happy and them aren't really even... I mean, are they even really technically animatronics?
No, they're not. And then also on top of that, like, so a lot of people will say SCP. It's like, I started this 3 years before SCP was a thing. Like, this has always been... It's inspired by John Carpenter movies and, like, Mortal Kombat specifically. Mortal Kombat is everything. Like, there's kung fu, there's ninjas. So, like, Mortal Kombat is really the #1 inspiration as far as the universe aspect of how it's just a bunch of different stuff in one. There's horror, there's slashers, there's this and that. It's every cool thing that's in movies thrown into one universe. How do we make that work? That is the genesis of the universe.
Mortal Kombat's got some insane lore, though. I never knew.
I love Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
story, man. I love it. Fantastic.
But it is.
Yeah, honestly, we're just a bunch of old gamers that grew up playing N64 who love the game design philosophies of those retro games where it's like just put a lot of love into every little detail and reward players that explore and keep the formula simple. Everyone loves boss fights, everyone loves mini bosses. People do like collecting things, especially if they're meaningful, like music that you can listen to or I don't know, so many different things.
You do play as E7 in Burger Barn. That is correct.
Piggy.
Yeah, if you guys want a good overview of the lore, Super Horror Bros video is probably the most cohesive I've ever seen. Highly recommended.
There's a few too. There's like Terrico did a really good one, and then R from Gamersalt did one. Yeah. There's a few out there. If you look up Happy's Humble or Scythe Lore, you should find some stuff. There's a question for you, Caleb. And dark humor from, say, Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Yeah, a little bit of Conker stuff may have slipped in here and there.
Little GTA, little Postal.
One of our earlier concepts that we'll probably never make, but just for fun, we were going to do like a Conker's Bad Fur Day / Animal Crossing type, just adult humor game, but that was a different time.
In a different place.
This game's supposed to be geared more towards a PlayStation aesthetic, but like if you look where Blake is now, you can see how different like the sets of the cooking areas look graphically compared to like the concrete and stuff. That's one of the things we wanted to do in this game is instead of Burger Barn spoilers, I guess not really, it's been out for 2 years. Instead of doing like a quick flip, we wanted to slowly pull the PlayStation simulation look away. And we love to bring Burger Barn to console. The problem is the shaders we use in it are just really hard to work with. And I don't know if consoles would even support it. But, you know, if you guys have a PC, I mean, it's a free download. Try it. See if it works for you.
And personally,
John.
N64, I would say, is a bigger inspiration for like the idea, genesis of my ideas. Because I didn't own a PlayStation; I just played them at friends' houses.
Yeah, I definitely am a bigger fan of N64. Even though this game, we attempted to go for more of a PlayStation look. John, why is the farmer the last boss we fight?
No reason. I just like doing things like that.
No, I don't think there was really. We just ran through most of the buds, and he was the last one. And...
Well, yeah, going off what John said, there was no really rhyme or reason. You know, we were wrapping up development, honestly, before we even had incorporated the 50s diner. But,
oh, yeah.
You know, full disclosure, we wanted the 50s diner in, and we weren't going to sleep until it's in, and we felt that it needed a final boss fight as well after such a sequence. So we had the farmer left. You know, with Sammy the way he is and having to swim, you know, the swimming mechanics weren't as ironed out for a boss fight so much, so we had to go with the farmer as the last choice there.
Yeah.
There's,
what else?
I mean,
go ahead, John.
One of you go.
That's true too, Cannoli. You had to feed him all 3 burgers. Well, I was just saying to the whole FNAF thing, like, I'm sure that Scott, like, grew up going to Chuck E. Cheese like us. Like, those things are creepy. Like, go to a Chuck E. Cheese if they still exist around you. It's very unsettling. They definitely made the new Chuck E. I don't like as much. I like the creepy looking ones. They were way better. And, you know, McDonald's used to be pretty weird, too. Like, they had, like, burger seats and, like, the play place was all strange. They were the 90s in general were very creepy, very horror orientated, and I like it for that. We had Goosebumps, we had Scary Stories, Courage the Cowardly Dog, just everything on Nickelodeon, Real Monsters, and Ren and Stimpy and Rocco. They all had this weird, twisted bent. Like even Rugrats, go watch 5 to 10 episodes. There'll be at least 1 or 2 horror sequences that you're like, whoa, I remember this traumatized me, and I was like 3.
Yeah, the watermelon seed in Chucky's stomach. That one was like, I never wanted to swallow a watermelon seed in my life because of that episode. Yep. But, see, I always envisioned the mascots in the restaurant being like, you know the Ronald McDonald you sit on the bench with and take a picture and he's like all hardened plastic? That's how I envisioned these mascots being. They're just hardened plastic. So it makes it even creepier when they move. Spoiler, PD will end up sort of like this and he'll block your shots here.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up,
So the fish, there is sort of a boss sequence, you know, as I'm sure you know, but it is really hard to do water boss fights.
Yes.
It's not, I mean, and especially the size that Sammy was, I mean, the player couldn't swim fast enough to even stand a chance. I mean, you could swallow half a map in one go.
I think what you came up with the swimming situation was probably the best that we could have did within our skill set.
You don't kill Sammy. I will say it. You don't kill Sammy. I mean, he was there to just be like, hey, I didn't forget about you, you know?
And PD's still making noise when you leave. Also, is there just one of these things, or is there multiple? It's not like these are the only embodiment. These are organisms that fuse to the animatronics. So it's like, how many are there in this place? There could be more. There could be other characters we've never even revealed. Maybe there is a fisherman or a Richie the Hound lurking. You don't know.
Something about the name Richie the Hound creeps me out. Is this game a sequel? No, obviously. What do you think about the player's lore? What is the main character's name, and what was he or she like before Obscura and Paragon had put an inhibitor chip in them? Is the main character a he or she?
It's Ryder Heitzman, who, I mean, I'm going to assume you finished the game, but there's that whole sequence where you go back in time and it tells you everything. And if you look at the board on the wall, you see what he was doing there. He was investigating the people, you know, getting put into this against their will. So he was investigating. He was a cohort of Maverick Cooper. He was like following up on, you know, my character. Maverick got abducted, and then he was following up trying to find him there after he sent out like distress signals, as his brain was slowly like, all right, like Kaleb and was inspired by flowers for Algernon for Toe, and then at the same time my Maverick Cooper was more inspired by like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. So like both the characters, we both had these ideas that converge, like, okay. So like they start losing everything as time goes on.
You know, as far as explaining what about the assets, what happens to the assets, what happens after, will there be DLC? We have a lot of stuff planned. We have a lot of cool stuff. Only time will tell. We'll just have to see. We'll definitely tease stuff if we have some stuff coming down the pipeline, though.
Oh yeah, of course.
Ideas for DLC and sequels are endless, and ideas for the universe, there's a long-term story of how like the planet wide and all these organizations and what happens to them, all that's mapped out. Like there's a satisfying finale to all of this, but like we're so many games away from that even being like no one knows the main plot of Scythe yet. They just know bits and pieces from different perspectives. The whole grand scheme of it is so huge. It's like a whole planet size theme.
What's your guys' favorite boss fights?
Oh, mine's PD. I love PD's boss fight. It's so well rounded.
I like the music, and my music in PD was my favorite song I made, especially when it breaks down to that like heroic part. But the Charlie fight really grew on me after watching so many streamers, and like I don't know, it's just like our low budget attempt at Ocarina meets Alien Isolation. You know, it just feels like a blend of two things I'd never thought I'd see together. So I grew to really like PD's fight. I mean, Charlie's fight too.
I think Charlie's is my favorite too, just because I really like the fast-paced gameplay. You know, when you run in events and you know he's just like inches away behind you and you just barely escape, I think that's super fun.
Will there be a Happy Humble theme park?
Happy's Humble Burger World.
Happy's Humble
I'd go.
Paradise.
I know, it's almost like they were like, if they were like zoning something bigger, you know?
Yeah.
Cannoli, that is correct, and that's only like 5% of the grand scheme, but that's what's obvious now. The deeper stuff, or the even deeper stuff, should I say, is yet to be revealed, or yet to be discovered. It's there if you look, but I don't expect anyone to understand it until we explicitly state what's going on. It's huge, though. It's insane.
Yeah, Rev, I agree. You know, I don't see a lot of people. I mean, some people attempt stealth and then revert to the whole parkour thing, but you can technically play the entire Charlie fight without ever being seen. It's just you gotta be super patient.
Or build the sandwiches before you unleash him, so that you're like pretty much ready to cook and go before you even do the pipes.
John, you want to do another trivia giveaway?
Yeah, okay.
For those of you that may have just tuned in, if you are the first one to answer this question correctly, we will send you a key after the stream.
Okay, let me think of a good question here. I had one earlier and I forgot what it was.
I can go back to questions for a minute if you want.
I'm just trying to think of answer some stuff. I'm going to try to think of some good trivia that's not too easy.
Are you planning to wrap up the story in the Northbury Grove games? It seems like there's more to that story than you revealed in those games. Northbury Grove it's not finished. There's definitely more to the story, although I will say it's not our current main focus right now, for sure.
You can see a little bit of the future if you go look at the Spectre City Slasher album. That kind of tells a little bit of what he does afterwards. Whether that will remain canon or not, we don't know. But the games were a prequel to the story that was in that album. It was like his origin story, because he moves to the big city and starts killing people in a city setting.
Yeah, we have merch, sitedevteam.com. You can find it. The center area in New Elysian City is just level decoration. There's no functionality to it right now.
There was going to be, again, we have ideas, and then we have to finish other ideas before we execute new ideas. And
one of the hardest things about game development is feature creep. You come up with all of these amazing ideas, and then you realize how difficult it is to actually pull off these ideas with the resources and time that you have available, which actually kind of segues into our next question. What are some scrapped ideas that you guys had for the game?
The furnace, obviously, in the graveyard.
I'll cover that one right away.
Yeah.
And so many people have asked about it, but I like it because when I was a kid and there was the Banjo-Kazooie ice key, that kept me intrigued for years. Even after I found out about it, I still find it fascinating that they had this grandiose idea that they just couldn't quite get off in time. It was so interesting. And that, the island in GoldenEye that's across from you at the dam, everyone was trying to get over there, and eventually people were able to, and there was nothing there. It was still very intriguing.
Yeah. Some scrapped ideas. There was going to, at one point very early on, there was actually going to be 2 other simulations that you could work at. One was a theme park, and the other one was a zoo. And that included having to do all the tasks that would involve working at those places. But as you can see, that was there's a lot to pull off.
Yeah, we obviously want to do more, to make it the best, biggest game possible. But there's just a point where you still have to stay on track, the trail, the beaten path, and just stick to what you started the game as and wrap it up. And then if it's recepted well, then there's always room for more DLC, sequels, stuff like that. It just, your initial idea has to be accepted well, and hopefully it has been. From what we've seen, people like it. Everybody here likes it, and hopefully that'll give us the ability to make more.
Absolutely. I was going after that lotto ticket.
Other scrap things. Should we say what the furnace was going to do, or do we might think we might use that eventually?
I mean, it was my idea. My idea when I made it.
I'm kind of just a talking head.
Was initially I wanted to have it just a bonus where, it spawned off of putting the golden burgers in the game. We had the golden burgers in the game, but then the bigger the game got, the more likely the player was to lose the golden burgers. So instead of having, all of this confusion and exhaustion for having to start the new game and do all this, we took the golden burgers out, but you're supposed to throw in 3 golden burgers, and it was going to give you, essentially a key. Or it could have been simply, a golden bar to come over here to steal and sell where I'm going and throw in there and get you, $400 or $500. But again, it wasn't in the cards. You'll see one of my favorite videos is the action block video by Titanfall 2's developers. And if you take a second to look at that, there's a part in there that they'll show about 36 different action blocks on the screen, and you'll see 80% of them go black and white, because what happens in game development is you have all these ideas, but one thing might not work with one thing, and one thing might screw up another thing. So you have to sort of narrow all that down and stick with what you want in there more than the others. And inevitably, the perfect example for that is the truck in this game. That is exactly what happened with the truck. As we advanced, the truck didn't work out as much as we would have wanted it to, so instead of the numerous, complaints we would have got on its functionality, we just took it out and decided that America nowadays needs to do a little bit more walking to work.
Well, I did ask a trivia question, but Cannoli already got it, so...
Cannoli
got it. There you go.
Cannoli.
Maybe we'll do one more. Do a total of 3. Where's that guy? I just saw a good question.
I will send it to you on Discord, Cannoli.
We have no plans to port this game to mobile. We did some testing, and it's not the easiest game to play on a phone.
No.
And it's not the most optimized game for a phone either, unless we strip a ton of stuff out, and it's just not worth it because it won't be the same experience then. A clown character would be scary.
So I'm gonna jump into Toe's room. We'll hang out in Toe's room for a minute and answer any further questions there is left. We'll do one more trivia giveaway, and I think that'll wrap us up for a little bit.
Yeah.
Until next time.
And just know, for those of you that don't, I mean, we have a Discord server. We are extremely active. If you ever have any questions, like, anything really, if we can answer them, we will.
Oh yeah. I'm just
Zane Grimm, there is no IQ set. He's just a very, very, very smart person who figured some stuff out and is trying to do great.
Chill out with a nice cold Donovan draft. And
Vic passed away, but there's bigger lore that ties into Vic. That actually ties into some of our other games. If you go play them, you might be able to piece together what's going on there. But maybe he will come back. But he definitely died at some point. Toe is he's just been working for so long. He got all the cutouts and the action figures.
I've had enough beer.
Why can't you eat fries and burger stuff you find lying about the map?
You don't want to.
It's not edible.
If you listen to the Vicky, if you eat the sharp focus pills, you'll start hearing what they actually make it with, and it's like insects and rodents.
Good night, Toe.
It's not good stuff.
I don't mind a cockroach in my burger.
Another reason, to be completely transparent here, is, originally that stuff was edible in the restaurant, and we found it really annoying that you were trying to complete an order and you'd accidentally eat the burger in your hand.
This is true.
Game Destroyer, yeah, we do know about that glitch. We reported it to our porting team. May be fixed. If not, should be fixed soon.
Yeah, the holiday right now has got everybody a little out of whack, so we do apologize and appreciate your patience. Just busy. Everybody's busy right now, but anything game breaking, we can definitely try to take a look at. But consoles, hands are tied for the time being.
Okay, so here's the 2 that I'll answer real quick. How did Vic drop the bomb if he's just ahead? He didn't drop it. It was just there forever. E7 left it. And then when you come home, you slam the door, or Toe slammed the door, or something of that nature happened, and it knocked it over. And then, you just happen to walk in right when it happens. And as far as the door in your apartment, that's just supposed to look wonky on purpose, is always how I took it. Because it leads directly into the hall, but there's no door. So it's like, well, what is that door? It just doesn't lead anywhere. So it's just kind of like a non sequitur.
I always envision Vic sort of like using his
real
tongue
fake doors
to push the bomb off. Like, oh my god, okay. I hear somebody. Like he woke up. That's how I always saw it. And he pushed it over on accident by talking.
But yeah, I think that about concludes our gameplay, right?
Yeah, I mean,
If you got any more questions, you can feel free to keep firing them off for a little bit here while I try to think of one final trivia question. Trying to think of a good one.
Tell your friends about the game. Buy the game.
yeah, Christmas is right around the corner.
Think
make
Tiny
great
Bill.
gifts.
Tell them how much you want a sequel.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, if everyone wants a sequel, that's what I say is the best course of action. Is just keep hyping, keep playing, keep telling us what you like, so we can take note. And you know, we have no shortage of ideas. We absolutely love working on video games and in this universe. It's really cool to just keep piecing stuff together and see the story start to unfold.
Yeah, absolutely. Blake, one for you. Why do some of the graves have elevated ground but not others? Who could they be burying?
I mean, the only time I saw a grave that didn't have grass grown over it was a freshly dug one. You know what I mean? They got to dispose
Real
of
reassuring.
their test subjects somehow, and you know that the furnace under the graveyard is, you know, a lot of people guessed it right. It is a crematorium. That's essentially what it was. You know, for those who wish to be cremated, and we're trying to tie it into, again, the three golden burger thing and all that stuff, but just didn't work out. But you know, realistically, it makes sense because any funeral home parlor or anything like that does have access to a crematorium.
Okay, so I got a trivia question, but if you've already won, don't answer because you'll just give the answer away. And you already won a key.
Cannoli.
You know the war, so I gotta. All right, so. Oh wait, did I lose it? I had something good too. Oh yeah. What family started the Barnyard Buds? What was the genesis of the creation of these mascots?
Toe.
This is for a key of the game.
Toe did it all. He made all of this.
I know you know Canola. You don't need to answer. We know you got it.
Cannoli is
Cannoli is
super
the
fan.
Yeah, the Scythian
One of the
War.
war fanatics or war historians. Rev Sven has correctly answered the question. And I know that you have the game, but you know you could do a giveaway yourself if you want the key.
Congratulations.
You wrote down everyone correct.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we wrap this up, and I crawl through some scary sneak events, any more questions you got for us?
Yeah, ask him now.
Did
Or
Toe
forever
secretly
hold your peace.
create the entire island? Yeah, it's now canon.
Mhm. No, but Toe's got an
You can do
intense
that too.
backstory.
Yeah.
Toe's got an intense backstory, and we're definitely hoping we can tell it to you.
Yes, you can, Rev. However you want to do it. You can both give away the key if you already own it.
Ooh, I like this one. Will we ever get to see what Happy's humble hamburger is like? You know, I will tell you, I heard a rumor that Toe used to work there. That's all I heard.
I heard the same rumor.
I heard a rumor he worked there, and I heard it was like a family bowling center or something like that.
Could be.
I
Yeah,
know.
we'll just have to wait and see, right?
Yeah. I mean, we did Burger Barn, Burger Farm, Happy Hamburger, but not the humble hamburger.
Well, I found the place where I'm going to sleep right here and spend the rest of my day and not go back to work.
It's comfy.
This is such a... Oh, Yeah, it looks like very. Was this a Among Us reference? I honestly keep seeing that comment on the music video with the vent.
No,
And
it's
like, huh?
yeah, no, this isn't Among Us reference. This is just it's a secret area, ventilation shafts running through the restaurant to feed air conditioning. If we go back here, that's a fan that was spinning before I turned the switch, which I guess I could have showed you instead of playing it like I know what to do. But you can see right here, it's pumping cool air out through the entire restaurant, and you're just small enough to fit in it, sort of Die Hard style. And lo and behold, you come down this way and you see that somebody was here before, and they left you a couple of presents. So that was it.
Shadow, we had answered that earlier. You probably weren't in the stream yet. The furnace was abandoned. There was like these golden and bronze burgers that you could pick up, but they started getting wonky. So you were gonna melt them in the furnace, and that might have opened a new area essentially.
Yeah, everything's still to be decided. We can potentially throw in new areas, everything like that. If we're able to do a DLC for you guys. A lot. We are on consoles, so a lot, we want to keep everything 1-to-1. So only being out for 17 days, it's hard to tell right now which direction to go. So we're all just hanging out, watching everybody's streams, watching everybody's YouTube videos, trying to communicate with you guys as best as we can. We stuck Kaleb in the basement to fix all his bugs. It's just... we're trying to take care of the game as best as we can in the meantime because, in the first 17 days, it's kind of hard to tell what direction to go, how successful it is, and so on and so forth. But
yeah, if you guys want DLC, you guys want a sequel, tell Tiny Build, make noise about it, for sure.
Hype it, tell your friends, get everyone to play it.
Yeah,
it's a pretty niche game. It's pretty niche. It's pretty strange. So
yeah, if you played it and you enjoyed it, consider leaving us a review on Steam. That really helps with our visibility.
Yeah, it puts us up higher and higher each time anybody leaves a review, and that's just the best thing you can do with us aside from telling your friends and family. So we appreciate all of you being here today, asking your questions. The video will be posted on our YouTubes probably within the next 24 to 48 hours. If you were late, if you were early, if you didn't show up, you'll be able to watch it later. So we're going to go ahead and conclude our stream of the developer Q&A of Happy's Humble Burger Farm. Join our Discord if you have any more questions. We are super active in our Discord. John will take care of lore, Kaleb will take care of your bugs, and I will make you laugh. So anything you guys need, shout at us, ping us. We're always there to help you. We love all of you. Thank you for playing. Thank you for buying. And thank you for sticking around with us, and we hope you enjoy it.
Happy
Absolutely.
humble holidays.
Happy holidays, everybody.